Mexico, the 13th largest country in the world and the economic powerhouse of Latin America, is quietly experiencing a boom. And a big part of the reason lies right on its doorstep, the United States. Mexico's economic landscape is undergoing a significant transformation, driven by several key factors, with nearshoring playing a crucial role. To understand its impact, let's delve deeper into the data and the dynamics at play. A map of GDP per capita across Mexico's 31 states reveals a stark contrast between regions. The northern states, particularly those bordering the United States, exhibit concentrated economic activity and higher incomes. These states have successfully established a robust export base, becoming less reliant on commodities compared to their southern counterparts. This economic disparity, however, is beginning to change. Recent quarterly economic activity reports from 2023 highlight substantial growth in southern states like Oaxaca and Tabasco. This growth can be attributed to the phenomenon of nearshoring. Nearshoring involves relocating business operations to nearby countries to benefit from logistical and cost advantages. For Mexico, this means an influx of foreign investment as American, European, and Asian companies move their operations south of the border. In 2023, foreign investment in Mexico reached record levels, with an 18% year-on-year growth. This surge is partly due to heightened global tensions, particularly between the United States and China. Trade wars and tariffs have made manufacturing in China less appealing, prompting companies to consider Mexico as a more strategic alternative. This shift gained significant momentum, and by February 2024, Mexico overtook China as the leading source of imports for the United States. The advantages of nearshoring extend beyond mere economic metrics. The geographical proximity to the U.S. offers logistical benefits, including reduced shipping times and costs. This proximity also allows for greater flexibility and faster response times in supply chain management. Additionally, Mexico's time zones align closely with those in the U.S., facilitating smoother business operations and communication. The burgeoning trade relationship has positioned Mexico as one of the fastest-growing economies in the G20 in 2023. The benefits of nearshoring are reflected in various sectors. For instance, the automotive industry has seen significant investments, with major car manufacturers establishing production facilities in Mexico. This not only boosts Mexico's export capacity, but also creates numerous jobs, stimulating local economies. Moreover, the tech industry is also experiencing growth. Companies in the US and Europe are increasingly looking to Mexico for their IT and software development needs. This has led to the emergence of tech hubs in cities like Guadalajara, often referred to as the Silicon Valley of Mexico. These tech hubs attract skilled professionals and foster innovation, further enhancing Mexico's economic prospects. As companies establish operations in Mexico, wage growth has surged, offering better livelihoods to the local workforce. However, challenges remain. Despite these advances, Mexico grapples with significant income inequality, with wealth heavily concentrated among a small percentage of the population. Approximately one-third of Mexicans still live in poverty, a marked improvement from 43% in 2016, but far from sufficient for a nation aspiring to reach developed country status. Addressing this inequality requires comprehensive economic policies. The government has implemented social programs aimed at reducing poverty and improving education and healthcare access. For instance, the Prospera program focuses on conditional cash transfers to low-income families, incentivizing education and healthcare utilization. Such initiatives are crucial for fostering long-term economic stability and inclusive growth. While criminal activity and the informal economy are notable issues, they are not the focus of today's discussion. Instead, we are examining the legitimate economic strategies and shifts that are steering Mexico towards becoming a developed and wealthy nation. Nearshoring is a pivotal factor, catalyzing growth and integrating Mexico more deeply into the global economy. In addition to nearshoring, Mexico's strategic trade agreements have played a significant role. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, which replaced NAFTA, has further strengthened trade ties and provided a stable framework for economic cooperation. This agreement ensures continued access to the U.S. market, which is crucial for Mexico's export-driven economy.
The USMCA is the largest, most significant, modern, and balanced trade agreement in history. all of our countries will benefit greatly. It is probably the largest trade deal ever made also.
In essence, nearshoring has positioned Mexico on a path of accelerated economic growth. The influx of foreign investment, coupled with strategic trade agreements and government initiatives, is transforming Mexico into a more prosperous and developed nation. As we continue to explore why Mexico is on the path to becoming a rich country, it's essential to address the factors that could either accelerate or hinder this progress. One crucial element is productivity, which has been a mixed bag for Mexico over the past few decades. In 2023, a significant portion of the increased investment in Mexico was reinvestment by companies already operating within the country. This indicates that the nearshoring trend is still in its early stages, suggesting that Mexico's potential for growth as a manufacturing powerhouse is far from fully realized. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, has played a pivotal role in this. By requiring a certain percentage of goods, such as 75% of automobiles, to be made in North America to qualify for tariff-free status, the USMCA has driven a surge in assembly plants across Mexico. This influx of investment in manufacturing is expected to have a multiplier effect across the economy, boosting spending in infrastructure and telecommunications. Despite the optimistic outlook, concerns remain about whether Mexico possesses all the necessary ingredients to achieve developed nation status. From 1980 to 2019, Mexico's real GDP per capita grew by an average of just 0.7% per year, significantly lower than comparable countries like Chile, which averaged 3%, and South Korea, which saw 5.3% growth. This gap can largely be attributed to low productivity gains, which have remained relatively stagnant since the 1980s. Mexico's economic growth during this period was primarily driven by an expanding labor force, rather than improvements in productivity. Total factor productivity, which measures how efficiently inputs are used to produce output, has been a weak point for Mexico. Productivity is the primary driver of growth in most advanced and emerging economies, and Mexico's sluggish gains in this area have been a major drag on its overall economic performance. One reason for this is Mexico's rapidly expanding workforce, which has meant a growing pool of working-age individuals. This expansion has increased the quantity of labor inputs, but not necessarily their efficiency. However, this demographic advantage is expected to diminish by around 2030. With a fertility rate of 1.9 children per woman, Mexico is below the replacement level needed to maintain a stable population from generation to generation. Education is another critical area where Mexico needs improvement. The country currently has one of the lowest rates of educational attainment and enrollment among OECD nations. Although these rates are steadily improving, they remain a significant barrier to higher productivity. Higher levels of education enhance the skills of the workforce, leading to more efficient use of existing technologies and greater output, which ultimately translates into higher wages. For Mexico, improving educational outcomes is not just about increasing overall productivity. It is also about addressing structural challenges, such as inequality in education access and quality between urban and rural areas. Enhancing educational attainment could help bridge these gaps, providing a more skilled and versatile workforce capable of driving Mexico's economic growth forward. To summarize, while nearshoring and investment are propelling Mexico's economy, the country must also focus on boosting productivity and improving education to sustain and accelerate its growth. Addressing these areas will be crucial for Mexico to fully realize its potential and achieve developed nation status. Another critical factor impacting Mexico's economic growth is its large informal sector. Unlike most modern developed economies, which primarily consist of formal businesses registered with the government, Mexico's informal economy is substantial. It comprises mainly small businesses that operate outside of the formal regulatory framework. This sector accounts for a staggering 24% of Mexico's GDP and employs 55% of the workforce. Workers in the informal sector often lack essential benefits such as healthcare and pensions. Moreover, because these businesses are not officially registered, they typically cannot access loans from banks. This limitation restricts their growth potential and significantly reduces the government's ability to collect taxes. Consequently, this large informal economy contributes to Mexico's overall productivity stagnation. Access to credit is another significant challenge. Despite banking reforms following the financial crisis of the 1990s, Mexico's financial sector remains marked by low levels of credit extended to firms and households. In the 21st century, domestic credit to the private sector as a share of GDP has averaged just 24%, compared to 99% in Chile. This low rate of credit availability hampers economic growth. So where does this leave Mexico? The country has tremendous potential to become a developed nation, but several challenges remain. While trade and manufacturing are driving growth, an over-reliance on trade, particularly with the United States, poses risks. The U.S. accounts for 80% of Mexico's exports, meaning any changes in this trading relationship could significantly impact Mexico's economy. In 2024, with both Mexico and the U.S. facing elections, the outcomes could alter their bilateral relationship and economic dynamics. However, Mexico's proximity to the world's largest economy gives it a strategic advantage, especially as global supply chains shift away from China. To sustain and enhance its growth, Mexico needs to effectively leverage incoming investments to build long-term economic capacity and reduce inequality. Ensuring that the benefits of growth are widely distributed and not squandered will be crucial for Mexico's journey towards becoming a wealthy, developed nation. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Mexico's economic transformation. If you found this video informative and engaging, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Your support helps us bring you more videos like this.